Hey there, welcome to Heiko Shaves. My name is Heiko. Today we're going to review a new razor. It's time for a shave anyways. Looks like it. About 3 days of growth. And I have this brand new razor. I ordered it from Murphy and McNeil and they just sent it to me in a shipping box and a little bit of bubble wrap. This one here is the Merkur 37C. Merkur has a really large catalog of all kinds of razors. This here is one of their Slant razors, 2-piece. And I have reviewed the RazorRock 37, or they call it the German 37, which is inspired by the Merkur 37. As you can see, Merkur, RazorRock, fairly similar, a little different. The comb is a little different. But yeah, you can definitely see the inspiration. And I've always wanted the original, so that I know, what's the difference here. So the RazorRock is not a 2-piece, it's a 3-piece. It's, I guess, easier to manufacture. So you just make a 2-piece head plus a handle. It's easier to do than the intricate, design of having this nice 2-piece knob down there and only the top cap comes off. This here is a entirely zinc alloy plus some brass, I would say. Very, very similar to the Merkur 34, which is the straight, non-slanted, also 2-piece design with a knob here at the bottom. So, and yeah, today we're going to try this out. I will use a once-used Rex Supply Platinum blade sitting here on my magnet on the mirror. We're going to, let's just get started and load the razor real quick. And then my German Shepherd is barking at people out in the backyard. I guess that's his job, huh? All right, let's not cut my fingers off. Blade in there and tighten down. Let's look at the blade alignment here. First one side, then the other. That looks perfect. Blade tabs are sticking out. It's a design choice. I usually don't have an issue with that. Yeah, so blade loaded. This razor has been on the market for a very, very long time. And a lot of people enjoy those. And I wanted to see what it's all about. And I wanted to see how far off the RazorRock German 37 is from the original. I mentioned in a previous video that I have a little bit of an issue with ingrown hair. You guys have responded. You have given me all your tips and tricks and whatnot. I've read all the comments. And of course, I have to pick and choose a few of the techniques. Especially because some of the techniques are kind of contradicting each other. So I kind of have to, pick a few and just try it for a while and see if it's actually helping. So I am going to do a cold water shave. That was one of the most suggested things. I will also use a exfoliating pre-shave, which is this one here, the Tube 2.0. This contains where is it now? Activated bamboo charcoal powder, which is supposedly very nice mentholated. It's supposedly exfoliating, getting rid of extra skin cells that are not supposed to be there. Made by PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. They recommend to actually apply this once, use it as a wash your entire beard section, wash it off or rinse it off, and then apply it again as a pre-shave. And we're going to do that today. Then on top of that, we're going to use by the razor company Orenda. This is a very if you could mix a fruity scent with a powdery scent and a clean scent, this is what this is. And I have also the matching aftershave, which is non-homogenized, so the oily and the watery content will separate, so you have to shake it up a little bit. Unfortunately, they stopped selling this. I really like it. It's been sitting here for a while, and I haven't been using it all that much, so today is the day. We're just going to scoop into a bowl. Let's grab a bowl here real quick. One of my favorites here. It's simple, easy to hold on to, non-breakable. It's supposed to imitate porcelain, so the nice white color, and you can buy it on Amazon. I will leave a link down below. I really enjoy this little thing. And then brush wise, I thought about it for a while, but I haven't really made up my mind yet. I have one brush that I never use because it's too large, which is the Sterling Soap Company Kong. It's a 24 millimeter No, it's a 27. I forgot. Big knot, high loft, and I usually smear everything into my nostrils, but I think I need to use this at least once in a while, so we're going to use this today. All right, let's get started. I'm going to get my face wet. Then I will apply some of the Tube 2.0, and then we're going to do a quick face wash, like PAA recommends on their webpage. So just like this. Wash my beard area, especially where I have the ingrown hair situation. It's getting better. It's healing up, I think. So now I just have to work on not messing it up again. All right, let's rinse off real quick. I'll be right back.
5 minutes later.
All right, so first face wash. Let's just dry off a little bit. And we're going to apply pre-shave again. This time it's going to stay on my skin. We can still rub it in a little bit. Kind of like that. Just applying it. Sorry guys, I'm gonna fill my sink again. I'll be right back. All right guys, so I'm back. Sink is filled again. I have cold water in my amethyst basin and in my sink. So just like I said, this is gonna be a cold shave. My face is already cold because this Tube 2.0 is mentholated pretty significantly. I also loaded a blade into the German 37. This is not supposed to be a comparison video, but I just want to see real quick with a couple of strokes to see how they stack up against each other. All right, so let's get some Orenda in my bowl here. I just scoop out a little bit, stick it to the bottom of my bowl here, smear it to the bottom, and then I stick my scoop right into my sink so the soap can soften and come off the spoon. And then we're gonna grab my Kong here, get it wet. And I just squeeze out most of the water. And we're gonna go right into the bowl here and start the lathering process. And then since this is such a large knot and a kind of a water-hungry soap, we will have to add a little bit more water here as we go. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. It's a relatively soft knot, has lots of loft, so lots of long, fine bristles that kind of get floppy. Not the most backbone of all the knots I have here, but it's getting there. We're getting there. More water. And then I know Matt Pisarcik is a big cold water single pass shaving proponent. He also recommends to face lather, so you break your ingrown hairs loose and whatnot. I have not seen much success with that, but you know, I take any help that I can get and any suggestion and try it, at least give it a good old try. So we have the knot loaded up. Look at this big old knot. And now we're just going to face lather a little bit and try not to smear it into my nostrils so I don't start sneezing halfway through the video here. So lathering right in my jawline here. I tell you guys, I'm incapable of not getting stuff into my nose when I'm lathering with a larger than 20 millimeter knot. It's I don't know, it's incredible. I'm just clumsy, I guess. Look at all this, oh my goodness. The scent, very mildly scented, but very clean and a little fruity, a little orangey. My goodness, Heiko. I need to get a smaller nose. That's what it is. I need some facial surgery and make my nose a little smaller. Just for the channel here. Just for shaving. Okay. I think this is plenty, and my face is so cold from cold water and menthol. Here we go. So I'm just going to make a couple strokes with a German 37 by RazorRock, company out of Canada. I'm not sure if this is actually a Ontario, Canada produced razor. The handle is stainless steel, the head entirely zinc alloy, and it doesn't have any markings on it. Recently I reviewed the Goat razor. I don't know where I put it, somewhere. The greatest of all time razor, also by RazorRock, that's actually made in Canada. This might be just import. So anyways, just a couple strokes just to see how it feels. It's definitely not a super mild razor. The review of this one here, it's been a while, probably a year since I used it. So yeah, it has a fair amount of blade feel, but not crazy. So yeah, that was enough to just remind myself what the RazorRock feels like. And now we're going to switch to the Merkur 37C. And let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go. Let's just finish up this side here. Huh. Hold on. One more try here with a RazorRock. Yeah, the RazorRock has more blade exposure, I think. If I would do our little imaginary line test, I can already see, and you probably can too, that the blade gap is larger. The closed comb or the scalloped comb is a little different, and that gives the blade more exposure. So the RazorRock is more aggressive, probably more efficient in ways. But yeah, the Merkur here 37C is a mild one, is a milder razor. So on my 1 through 5 scale, I would still put this into the 1 to 1.5 category. Yeah, this is a very friendly little razor. The Rec Supply Platinum razor blades are actually really sharp. They put a drop of wax on it, so some people care about that. I just wanted to point that out. So Rec Supply Platinum blades have wax on it. If you care about that. Yeah, this is almost beginner-friendly slant razor, whereas the German 37 is probably a 2 or if not even a 2.5 in blade feel and aggressiveness. Yeah, it's a pretty pleasant little surprise here. Oh. It's pretty easy to find the angle too. So if I first start and I don't feel the blade, then I usually move around a little bit just to, you know, figure out what the best angle is to get a good shave result. I don't know, probably a few of you guys are my age or older. I'm turning 50 in October. And you know that you're getting older when your eyebrows start getting longer. You grow hair out of your ears and you grow hair out of your nose. So I just noticed that there is one peeking out. So what I still have a Norelco razor sitting here. I never use it for face shaving anymore, but I use it for my ears and for my nostrils. I guess I share that with you guys. Anyways, pretty good little razor. I'm going against the grain down here. Extra careful in my jawline. Yeah, that's pretty good. I thought it would be more like the German 37. I remembered that it was a little on the more spicy side, but I also hadn't used it in quite a long while. And, you know, when I started out, I was less experienced and I was more impressed by a little bit more aggressive razors. So now I can probably shave with this thing easily, no problem. I was just asked yesterday in the comment section how I figure out if a razor is suitable for my autopilot routine in the morning, 6 a.m. You know, once I have shaved with a razor once or twice, figured out, you know, how it ticks and how aggressive it feels, I immediately when it's like gentle, mild, then I know, okay, I can put this on my windowsill here, load it with a blade, and I can use it in the morning with no problem. All right, so as you guys saw, I just wipe down or rub in the remainder of my previous lather, kind of like using it as a pre-shave for the next pass. And then the Kong comes out and we reapply a little bit more soap here, maybe add a little bit more water to it. Soap dries up, so if you have it sitting next to you on the sink and you ramble and talk like I do, then maybe the soap loses a little bit of its water through evaporation, and then you just have to rehydrate it. Like that. Oh my goodness, my nose. All right, here we go. Second pass, and this will be my last pass. I listened to you guys. You all recommended to not do as many passes and stay within the realm of with the grain or across the grain, and don't do too much shaving against the grain, just to avoid ingrown hair. Very nice. Nice little razor. Just the right amount of blade feel, efficiency. Okay. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the Merkur razors that I have, they are all pretty much beginner friendly. I have this really old-fashioned designed Merkur 41, which is open comb, and it kind of looks menacing, but look at this tiny little cute little handle, 3-piece. This is beginner friendly. Yeah, if you want to try an open comb and not break the bank, this is like 35 bucks or so. 41C Merkur. Then the 34C is one of the most recommended beginner friendly razors, alongside with the Müller R89 or the Edwin Jagger. Oh my goodness. One is the R89 and the other one is... The R89 is the Müller, right? Yeah. And then the Edwin Jagger 89. DE89, that's what it is. My goodness gracious. Completely brain fog right now. DE89, Edwin Jagger, and the Müller R89, they are always mentioned alongside the Merkur 34 as a beginner-friendly option. If you want a beginner-friendly and also not so expensive adjustable razor, also Merkur here with the Progress. And if you are into the, you know, the whole story with a potato peeler, this here is a Merkur Futur. This is actually the real deal, not a clone from Temu. But I just had a conversation in the comment section. Really, a lot of the clones that you can buy from AliExpress or Temu or eBay, they are almost, yeah, just as good as the Merkur, really. I have a $6 clone of this, and it shaves just as well. I do like it. You know, you can set it down to 1. It becomes really mild. and gentle and friendly. I don't use it very often. It's kind of a big head. And so if you want to clean up under your nose, you might have a little bit of a issue getting under there. So there are other razors that I prefer over the Merkur Futur. But yeah, it's a good one. And so I just noticed a trend here. Merkur really makes mainstream razors. They're not too mild, not too aggressive. They're just right. And most people can shave with them. And from a manufacturer perspective, if you make products that a lot of people can use, that means that you're going to sell more razors too. And of course, I appreciate when manufacturers decide to bring out a version that's out of fancier material. So, for example, the Müller R41, which is a really spicy open comb razor, this one here, they make it in stainless steel. Obviously, it's more expensive, and obviously less people are going to invest the money to buy this razor in stainless steel. But I do appreciate when manufacturers occasionally bring out a fancy material version. But from, again, a marketing and how many units can we sell, it probably makes sense to always just use brass and Zamac, the zinc alloy, and make it cheaper. This one here was $39. The Merkur 34 is pretty inexpensive, like $40, $50. The Progress is like $60, $70. Prices are going up, but so from someone who wants to make money selling razors, it probably makes sense to make razors out of cheaper materials, so the profit margins are larger, and you can sell a razor for $50 instead of $150. But anyways, the Merkur 37 is a friendly, relatively mild slant razor. Another one. I really enjoy slant razors. The whole idea of having a slanted razor blade, the cutting edge, at an angle is so that when you are chopping off your stubbles, that it has a little bit of a slicing motion. Whereas if you take a razor with just a straight close comb, it's more a, direct straight approach perpendicular to the stubble. Whereas this adds a little bit of a angled approach. What I also have noticed that a lot of slant razors put the razor blade in a more extreme radius, and that radius actually will make a shallower approach angle to the stubble. So if you have a very large radius, like this one here, the blade approaches the stubble more at a steep angle. And if the blade is more bent into a tighter radius, the blade approaches the stubble at a shallower angle, which again improves the slicing action. So I have found over the last year and a half, 2 years, that a lot of the slant razors that I like here's the most extreme example, the Yachi Torx, puts the blade in this really extreme radius, or small radius really. The tighter the turn, the smaller the radius, right? And that puts the blade at a very nice shallow angle, and it really has this really smooth slicing through your stubbles. That reduces the sensation of scraping. Some razors tend to scrape rather than slice. And I think here on this Merkur 37C, that's the same case. So it's really gentle. It feels good. The slicing motion is just perfect. So I like it. It's $39. Bought it with my own money. Murphy and McNeil have no affiliation. They don't even know that I exist. And yeah, I think this is a good one. This is a good purchase. Inexpensive. If you are a beginner in the DE shaving game, and maybe you're just trying to find a razor to try it out once and not to have to spend too much money. There are obviously many versions of razors that you can buy. I have reviewed razors from Amazon. The Fay Cone razor was pretty good. The Emperor Augustus was really good. That was like a $10 razor. So you can get lucky and find a really inexpensive DE razor and still get a good shaving result out of it. But if you want to just make sure you get quality, pick yourself one of those Merkur razors. They have like a whole catalog of long handle, short handle, slant, open comb, you know, adjustable and all that stuff. And pretty much most of them are beginner friendly. This one too. So let's rinse off. So I rinsed off cold. That was a recommendation. That sucks the skin back together. And now before I apply the aftershave that I picked, I'm going to put a layer of Thayer's on, which is witch hazel water as the main ingredient. And that is considered a skin toner. You could even use this when you're not shaving, just to, you know, flatten out the wrinkles around your eyes. Put some facial toner, as they call it here on the bottle. Put that on, let it just evaporate a little bit, doesn't take too long. And then after your skin has recovered from the torture of shaving, you can then apply your favorite aftershave, your cologne, whatever you want to put on. Yeah, this one, like I said, you have to shake it a little bit. Some artisan aftershave and soap makers, they don't put the emulsifiers in there to mix water with oily substances. And I appreciate that. The less chemicals we can put into those, the better it will be as a product for your skin. So now we're going to take the Orenda bottle here. Quick little sniff test. Matches the soap scent description really well. It's a little powdery, a little fruity, kind of, yeah, pleasant. Has a little bit of the orange scent, orange peel scent to it. That's why I'm assuming the packaging is orange. And just put it on. Skin is really happy. There's no burning going on. So I think 2 passes at least for the time being until I'm completely recovered from my ingrown situation down here. And then we will just observe. I will definitely stick with cold water with the exfoliating pre-shave or other products that I might buy in the future. I might not necessarily always show it on video, but maybe I prep before we do a video. And yeah, I will stick with the across and with the grain, at least here on my jawline. I will be a little bit more conscientious of what's going on down here. And I really appreciate you guys commenting. Shout out to Bill Murphy. He has been a channel supporter for a while. He has sent me packages for, you know, different events and had me try out stuff, had made product recommendation, and he just sent me a whole long email about all the techniques to avoid ingrown hair and things that came from Razor Emporium as well, recommendations on cold shaving and all that stuff. So I really appreciate you guys interacting with me in the comment section. I always get a kick out of it. And oftentimes I pick up your ideas and turn them into a video, immediately answering questions and all that kind of stuff. So keep the comments coming, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care. Bye.